Superman, the quintessential superhero. From the comic books to the big screen, we've seen countless interpretations of the Man of Steel, but one stands out from the rest, capturing hearts and redefining the superhero genre: Smallville. To make this clear, we'll outline 5 key reasons why Smallville is unique compared to other Superman adaptations. First reason: Smallville revolutionized storytelling by focusing on Clark Kent's formative years. Instead of starting with the hero's established persona, the show took us on a journey from teenage angst to heroic destiny.
That's incredible.
Unlike the original movies where Superman is already a seasoned hero, Smallville allowed us to witness his growth. The audience gets to see Clark's struggle, not just with supervillains, but with everyday challenges: school, friendships, and even love. This relatable coming-of-age narrative gave viewers more time to emotionally invest in Clark's journey, making his eventual transformation into Superman much more meaningful.
That makes sense.
Compare this to Man of Steel or the 1978 Superman, where Clark is almost instantly thrust into the role of Superman. While these films are exciting, they skip much of the personal development that Smallville emphasized. This deep dive into his adolescence gave fans a new level of emotional connection with the character. Second reason: Smallville set itself apart by giving its supporting characters deep, compelling arcs. Characters like Lex Luthor, Lana Lang, and Chloe Sullivan weren't just sidekicks or love interests. They had stories of their own. Take Lex Luthor, for example. Other adaptations usually present him as a one-dimensional villain, but in Smallville, we're introduced to Lex as a tragic figure.
I feel sorry for him.
His friendship with Clark was central to the show, making his eventual turn to villainy feel more heartbreaking and complex. By spending time developing Lex's character, the series allowed us to understand why he became Superman's greatest enemy, something that few other adaptations explore in such depth. Compare this to the Superman movies, where Lex is often portrayed as more of a comedic antagonist with a single goal: world domination. While those portrayals are fun, Smallville's Lex felt more human, which added to the show's emotional weight. And let's not forget characters like Chloe Sullivan. Chloe was an original creation for Smallville and became a fan favorite because of her intelligence, resourcefulness, and loyalty to Clark. Her presence enriched the show's dynamic and gave viewers someone who didn't exist in the comics, but quickly became irreplaceable.
She's irreplaceable.
Third reason: one thing Smallville did that few other Superman adaptations dared to do was tackle real-world issues. The show wasn't just about superpowers. It dealt with everyday challenges that many young people face. From bullying and mental health to struggling with identity and responsibility, Smallville gave audiences a grounded, human perspective on the superhero mythos. For example, Clark's journey as a teenager dealing with his powers often mirrored the struggles of young adults dealing with their own issues of identity and self-discovery. While other Superman stories tend to focus more on external battles, Smallville put Clark's internal battles at the forefront. This made him a relatable human character first and a superhero second. In contrast, other Superman adaptations like Man of Steel or Superman Returns often lean more heavily on the superhero side of things: big battles, world-threatening villains, and high stakes. While these are exciting to watch, they can sometimes overshadow the personal growth and character development that Smallville prioritized.
That's very true.
Fourth reason: the show didn't shy away from exploring Superman's rich mythology either. In fact, the show brilliantly balanced Clark's personal journey with the larger Kryptonian lore, bringing iconic elements from the Superman mythos into the fold slowly and meaningfully. One of the best examples is Clark's relationship with his adoptive parents, Jonathan and Martha Kent. Their guidance shaped Clark's moral compass, emphasizing the values of family, honesty, and responsibility. Other adaptations, while acknowledging these relationships, often gloss over their emotional depth. Where other versions of Superman lean heavily on his alien origins and powers, Smallville reminded us that what makes Clark Kent truly super is his humanity. The balance between his Kryptonian heritage and his human upbringing was never more apparent than in this series.
And finally,
we can't forget the lasting legacy of Smallville. It didn't just change the way we see Superman, it paved the way for the modern superhero TV landscape. Shows like Arrow, The Flash, and the entire Arrowverse owe a huge debt to Smallville. From serialized storytelling to character-driven plots, Smallville showed that superhero shows could be more than just action. They could be rich dramas filled with complex characters and relationships. Its influence can be felt in nearly every DC superhero show that followed. So while there have been many interpretations of Superman, Smallville remains a standout for its character-driven storytelling, deep relationships, and exploration of real-world issues.
That's a fact.
It transformed a comic book hero into a relatable figure for a generation. What do you think? Did Smallville do justice to Superman's legacy, or do you prefer other adaptations? Let us know in the comments.